Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we are here to check out the awesome new CRJ series aircraft. We have the 550 available and the 700 series, which is what's in front of us today. Now, little disclaimer here, I know nothing about the CRJ. I've never flown it before, so everything we're going to do is going to be sort of winging it. I'm going to be using some of the documentation that's in the that comes with the aircraft, downloadable versions of it, and I'll show you guys what I mean here in a second. And then just sort of winging it from there and what we know about aircraft and just having some fun. So this is not a tutorial flight. The idea behind this review, as any of my other reviews, is to give you guys an idea from a first-time experience. If you're someone who's looking at the CRJ going, man, that looks like it'd be a lot of fun to fly, but I have no idea to do it. I'm in the same boat. So we're going to be looking at this together and just deciding, hey, is it worth the money to purchase this aircraft? Do you feel like it's going to be an enjoyable experience? Is it something that you can easily pick up on and learn as time goes on? You know, just that kind of thing. So don't expect a flawless flight here. You're going to see the good and the bad. I'm going to leave everything in the video as we go along, and we're just going to take a look at some things. Another little disclaimer here. The only thing that I've done this aircraft is I've gone into the EFB here and I've configured a couple of things, such as the startup state. When you first launch it, I switched it to cold and dark. It was I think ready for engine start when was the default setting, and again I'll show you guys what I mean. And then I've configured my throttle controls, but that's about it. So from here we're going to jump into the seat and take a look at flying this aircraft. The textures and everything like that are absolutely fantastic. I'm going to let you guys just sort of see it as we go. I'm not going to really go over that. I'm telling you right now, they're probably the best that I've seen yet in the simulator. So really no need to showcase those, and you guys will be able to see those as the flight goes on. So let's jump into the seat and get started. Alright, so jumping into the seat here, we can see, like I said, the cockpit textures are absolutely beautiful. They're flawless. I can't really see anything that I don't like. It's even got a HUD in it. We're going to see what we can do with this aircraft. So coming down to the EFB, it doesn't require any kind of electrical power or anything like that on it. You can just simply come up to the screen. Once you get the little finger there, give it a click and it comes up online. Alright, so going real quickly through the different menus and the options, obviously we have a high-level checklist. We have the performance numbers where you can set your passengers, weight, cargo, etc. And you can change it to either detailed, or you can just set the zero fuel weight and the fuel load and have it set as you wish, or as it feels necessary. The aircraft options here, some of these we will go ahead and run through right now just for simulation purposes. We'll open up the passenger door, we'll set the stairs down, chocks are in place, open up the forward cargo, aft cargo, set the ground air cart on, open up the service door, and connect the ground power. Here you can set your default start. This is what I was talking about a minute ago, or default state when you first load up the aircraft. I switched it to cold and dark. I think it was either in turnaround or ready for startup. I can't remember which one it was in. And then these are quick settings, so I can change it real fast. So if I want to go, for example, ready for startup, it'll set the aircraft all ready to roll. Or I can go to cold and dark, which is what I prefer. Okay. Going over to the maintenance section, these are different maintenance settings that you're able to fix should you run into a system failure of any of these types. And the options menu. Here you can set and customize the aircraft's configuration to your liking. A couple that I'm going to go over, most of these are pretty black and white. You got your weights, you got your barometer, your flight director mode, how you want the flight director to appear on the PFD. And then here we have the IRS alignment. Now this one, realistic is 10 minutes, quick is approximately 6 minutes. For this one here, this is the LSK 3L or 3 left or 5 right. Now what this means is this is where your flight number will display on the flight plan page. And then the PFD headings, throttle detent, hint. I'm not sure what these are yet. I left it on for show. We'll see what happens. And the other one, autopilot disconnect yoke sensitivity. This is if for any reason you need to emergently take control of the aircraft, you can just move the yoke either high, medium, or a low amount of force, and it will automatically disengage the autopilot. And then we have some in-flight custom settings here. I'm going to go ahead and turn flight deck noises on, but here's your sound options. You have instrument FMS options. And then ETA was another one that I turned on. And then you can also set your PFD colors for the sky color and ground color. You just need to know the RGB codes. And you can Google, I think, RGB color codes, and it will bring them up. And then for your calibrate throttle, this is actually kind of cool. You have single or dual access. I have the dual access. Today we're using the Thrustmaster Warthog because I didn't feel like setting up the Bravo today. And then you have this one here, which is kind of neat. If your throttle hardware doesn't have a reverser access and you want to sort of get crazy with it, what you can do is turn that on. Now, idle, if you watch my throttles, okay, so this is in far aft, okay, but if I move it to about the center position, okay, we're in the 3000s here. That's what this idle was initially set to, like 3200, something like that, negative 3200, okay? And what you could do is set that to a specific point on your throttle, and then the remainder you could set as your reverse. So when we're in the 3000s here, we would be in the idle position. So we land, you know, we're in idle, and then if I go full aft on the throttle, the thrust reversers would engage. Now, that could be kind of tricky if you don't have a detent or something to, you know, give you a heads up that where you're at, but, you know, to each his own. But I figured I'd just demonstrate that for you guys. It's kind of cool. I'm going to turn that off there and go to OK. And then you would save your options and it will save it for the next flight. Coming up here at the top, you can also adjust the brightness of the EFB, the electronic flight bag, or you could power it off. You can also hit the about, gives you all the version information. Kind of cool. Oh, wow. Hey, that was sad. Hold on a second. Dedicated to the memory of Captain Andreas Kraft. Rest in peace. Oh, rest in peace, man. That sucks. Wow. Didn't expect to see that. Anyway. So now let's move on over to the checklist. So what we're going to do next is we are going to walk through starting the aircraft up as best I can. With the information I have available to me. So let me show you guys what I'm referring to. Now if we come here, we can see these are the two files that I downloaded when I purchased the aircraft. And this one here is that got all the documentation in it. It's got an MSFS preset, which this is used for a flight plan tutorial that actually it has. It's got a full flight tutorial here, much like for those of you who have seen my A320 guide or TBM 930 guide, very similar. For the most part, laid out pretty well. Some of it's, I perused through it real briefly, but it's pretty good. Some of it gets a little confusing, but it's all right. Still definitely one of the better opening documentations that I've seen. You have a quick reference guide, which we can open up here. It's going to be a little bright in your face there. Zoom that out. Scroll that down. And so we can sort of come down here and see our checklists. It's got a takeoff profile. A bunch of different things, really. ILS approaches, etc., etc. So that's kind of handy. Here is the tutorial guide I was telling you guys about. So if we zoom that out. Again, like I said, I was sort of perusing through it real quick. So it's pretty well documented and picture-oriented. And then we have our checklist. Okay, and then there's a couple other documents there that I didn't take the time to go over yet, but we'll get there at some point. There's an FMS guide specifically for the FMS to walk you through programming it. So that's pretty handy. The documentation is really solid on it. So I really think, I mean, just like any other aircraft, you're going to have to do your reading on it and things like that in order to get comfortable with it, but it's not bad at all. All right, so with that in mind, God damn it. Oh, no. All right, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at starting this aircraft up. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start moving through the checklist. Now, I'm only going to be worrying about action items today. As I'm not familiar with the aircraft, I just want to get it started, see what it flies like, see what it's like. So I'm not going to go through everything in detail because it'll take an astronomical amount of time, especially since I'm not familiar with where everything is. I got a pretty good idea. I've sort of taken a peek around the cockpit, tried to get as familiar as I could before recording this, but I haven't actually tested anything out. So we're sort of just going to wing it here. All right, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. And I'm using the normal operations checklist. This one here, this is sort of what I'm using, and then we're going to go through it from here. All right, so obviously starting up at the top panel here, we want our batteries on. We can see that external power is available. I'm going to go ahead and activate that. That way we don't have to worry about anything. Let's see here. Emergency flap switch, normal battery switch on. Hydrolock on off complete. FMS initialization, so that didn't take long. We also need the IRS, which I saw in the back there. Okay, and what else am I missing? Anything else from this particular section? No. All right, so let's move back up top here. Or actually, it said IRS or FMS initialization. So I've already created a flight plan in SimBrief, so I'm going to go through this real quickly because obviously you're interested in seeing the aircraft today, not so much the flight plan. So we're just going to start with position initialization. Now, this is actually really intuitive. And it's very similar to a Boeing FMS if you haven't seen one. So first we are starting out at KTUS. For the set position we need to move on over to the next page. And we can just grab any of these. Now there's actually two pages. You have the IRS1, IRS2, and then you have the GNS. So we're going to pick one of the IRS. The coordinates are the same. So I'm just going to click on that, put it into the scratch pad, go to the previous page, and hit set position. Okay, now we can move on over to the next section here. Oh, wrong button. Go to flight plan. And again, set your departure and arrival location. So Kilo Tango Uniform Sierra, KPHX for Phoenix, Kilo Papa Romeo November for our alternate. Flight number, I have no idea what American Eagle's airline code is. I've never flown with them before as a simulator, so we're just guessing. And this is that airline code that we changed, or location that we changed in the EFB, the LSK3 left. This is what that was talking about. So otherwise it would be on 5 right, which would be down here. Okay. And let's see here. So from here we can start setting in our first point. So we're going 29 right is our departing runway today. Okay, and then we're going to go via direct. I think I can enter this directly from here. Nope. Alright. So in that case, maybe not. Let's move over to the departure page. Now you can see that 29 right is already selected because we entered it into the previous screen. We're not using a SID today, so we're just going to go ahead and hit execute on this. Go to the departure arrival index. Let me clear that out of there. And then we're going to be looking for departures and arrival. And we're going to be using the ILS 08. We're going to be using the ALICE transition. Okay. And we also need to find the ping 1 arrival, which is what we're using. And hot is going to be the transition off of or onto the arrival. And now we can hit execute. Alright, now if we go into legs, you can see we've got a couple discontinuities that we need to fix, and this gets a little weird. You have to sort of watch with these, and I remember this from flying to Zibo. So first we need to fix a few things that aren't where they belong. So before I get crazy just deleting stuff, you can see hot is up here. Okay, so we know it's there. Let me move that up right there like this. So you can see hot's there. So we need to get everything in between. Alright, so I'm not sure why Alice is here, but it is what it is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set Ryan as our first waypoint. We're going from 29 right directly to Ryan. So I'm going to throw that up in here. And you can see there's Ryan appearing right here. And then from Ryan, we're supposed to go direct to hot. So I'm going to delete this discontinuity. You can see it's got us going way out over to Alice, which is part of the transition next. So I'm going to delete that. Then we need to delete this continuity. I'm not sure why it's in here so many times. This is really weird. Delete that. And then now we delete this one here. And we should be able to hit execute. Now, we should have a pretty good flight plan here. So let's go and check everything. Yep, golden. It's exactly what we were looking for. And we can verify this if I can find... I think I saw them down here. You can also move the yoke down a bit. I can't remember where it is. There it is. But you have a lot of your PFD and ND displayed information over here. So one of the things you want to do while we're here is we can adjust our range. And let me make this a little bit easier for you guys. We can go right Alt, and click on the screen. We can pop that up, make that a bit easier. And here's our range knob. You have your range designation here. So we're at 10 miles. So we want to go out a bit. And as crazy as that looks, it actually is okay. I haven't figured out how to step through the waypoints like we can, like in the Airbus. That's something I'll have to look for later on. I don't want to waste too much time because I don't think... I remember there was a step button, I thought, in the Boeings, and I haven't seen anything like that. And I don't think the arrows... Oh, no. And stepping through doesn't do anything, or, you know, selecting the different pages doesn't seem to do anything. So I don't know how to actually make the icon move around. Let me check something here, if there was anything like a plan mode like we saw before. Let's come back down here. You can quickly switch between HPA and inches, speed refs, V-speed, target, nav source. Oh, hey, nav source. That's probably pretty important. So we can close this out now. And, oh, did we already set that? So this knob here will change your navigation source. You have FMS2, or you go back to FMS1. Okay, cool. That's nice. All right. Not bad. Okay, so let's clear these master cautions. Passenger door, yep, all that good stuff is on. Now let's go to the performance information, which that we're going to do from the EFB. All right, so coming down to the EFB, we're going to go to the performance page, and I'm going to use change to 0 fuel weight, and then what we're doing, I'll show you guys this real quick. You're going to take this number right here, okay, 0 fuel weight. This is what our planned is. So 61652 is what I'm going to enter here. Now, it doesn't, interesting. It's not, oh, you have to clear it first. Okay, so 61652, press enter. You can see that changed. And then our fuel is all 5s. Clear first. 5555. And set payloaded simulator. And I'm going to go ahead and copy performance and initialization data to the FMS. Now you have all your V-speeds here. We're running flaps 8 today. We're running on a dry conditions. Here's our V-speeds. You can either set them one by one, or you can just hit set all. That's what I'm going to do today. And so hopefully all goes well. And I think, so we're going to copy this over to the FMS. And I think we should be good to go. Let's go down and check on it. What is that, 05? Go to our performance page. What am I looking for? Oh, perf, there it is. No. Performance initialization. There we go. So yeah, it did copy all that. We just need to enter in our flight altitude, and we're going to go to probably should put the flight level in there. Flight level, we're doing 220 today. Not going to worry about alternate cruise altitude. Okay, got everything else. What's the VNAV setup? Target speed 209 knots, 0.74 Mach, transition altitude 18,000 feet, speed altitude limit 250 at 10,000. Yep, alright. And we're just going to hit execute. And let's see something real quick. And it already set the target speed. Cool. And that's going to be V2. Let's bring that back up. V2 plus 10 is what this is. So you can see V2 is 144 knots. It added 10 knots. And the purpose of that is just to give a better climb rate. That's all that is. All right, let's set our altimeter, which I looked up for Tucson today. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I changed the range. I don't want to do that. There we go. And our barometer today is 3008. Okay. We need to get the landing elevation. Landing elevation touchdown zone is 1,100 feet. And I don't know where that goes. So I saw it up there on the overhead panel. But how do you know what you're setting it to? Let me pull... What's this guy got on it? Altitude. Cabin altitude. let's go up top. Oh, how did I do that again? Is that what's moving? There it is, landing elevation. Cool. All right, so it's down there on the, what is that, eCam page. So this is really handy. And again, guys, to do this, I don't know if you guys all know how to do that, but if I close that, can't remember if I mentioned it or not already, so sorry if I did. Right Alt, wait for that plus sign, click it, comes up. Okay, yep, I know. All right, so we're going to set this for 1,100 feet. Okay, cool. So that is set. Close that. Okay, so let's see where we're at on our checklist. We have the yaw damper is engaged, right? Did we do that yet? Alt F4. Let's see here. FMS initialization, cabin walk around, originating check, auto warning check complete, IDPU panel. I'm just scanning through these guys, so bear with me. Okay, yep, we didn't go up top again. I gotta stop doing that. Okay, so walking through this here, we have passenger lights. Oops. Mouse wheel, seatbelt signs on, no smoking sights on, emergency lights armed, logo light on, wing lights on, nav light can be coming on, anti-ice, windshield, there it is. We need to put those to low. Emergency lights low, armed, standby compass checked, nose wheel steering off, nose wheel steering. Saw that. Where did I see that? There it is. Alright, nose wheel steering should be off. And let's see here, what else we got? Instrument panels checked, sure. I'm not sure what I'm checking for yet. Upper pedestal, trims. I saw trims. Trims. Now I don't know if we need both of these on, so I'm just tapping them hoping that I'm right. Mock trim, and then it says yaw damper. Where the heck did I see the yaw damper? Oh my gosh, right in front of my face. Dear Lord. Again, I don't know if I'm supposed to be hitting both, so hopefully that doesn't screw me up. Guess we'll find out. Okay, passenger signs are on. Landing elevation is set. Altimeters are set. Let's go ahead and set our target altitude. I think I set that. And again, we'll bring up one of the PFDs. And set our altitude. It's currently set at 10,000. We're going to set it up to 18,000 because I have no idea how discombobulated I'm going to be at takeoff. Alright, transponder is not listed. Oh, well, radios and nav aids, so let's check that. Let's go back to here. Ah, okay. So click on that. Okay. And then let's set a, I don't know. Sure, 1472, that's our transponder code. And I saw this one in a video on how to turn it on. I remember it was a little goofy. I think it was this. ATC select, there it is. Yep. And that turns it on. Okay. Now the one I have yet to see, I saw it on the PFD that it was off, is TCAS. Now TCAS shouldn't be turned on yet, but like literally I haven't even seen it. But on the PFD above the HSI, I saw that it was warning us that it was not on. I don't know where. TCAS. There it is. Ah, mode standby. Oh, it's in auto mode. Okay. All right, cool. That's easy. All right, far out. Figured that out. Nice. All right, so let's see where we're at here. I think we're getting pretty close to ready for startup. FMS is set, IRS is set, takeoff briefing. Guys, we're going to take off. Okay, briefing complete. Cleared to start check. Okay, so now we're ready to start the aircraft. Alright, so to start the aircraft, we need to go up top and start the APU. APU, no, that's AC. APU. Oh, I think I get turned. Hold on. Darn it. I think I might have done that backwards. I'm sorry. Oh, hydraulic pumps. Ah, darn it. Fuel pumps in quantity. Need the fuel pumps on. There we go. Then the beacon light. The strobe light stays off until we hit the runway. Hydraulics to the on or auto position. Okay. Parking brake is secure. I did see that. Generators to auto. Generators on auto. Okay, generators on auto. Packs. Let's see here. Bleed valve set to auto. Auto. Okay. And pack should be on. Oh, okay. Okay, so it took me a second. I wasn't quite sure what was going on. I had to push this one once and then push this one again. And if you watch real closely, you can see it stays pushed in. But I had to wait about 15-20 seconds before I pushed this one, and then the start light came on. And there's the APU coming to life. While that's going on, we should probably clean up the aircraft here. So let's go to our aircraft information and let's close the stairs. Let's close the door. Remove the wheel chocks.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Ha! Cool.
On behalf of the captain and crew, welcome aboard this flight. We hope you enjoy flying with us. Before takeoff, we would like to encourage all passengers to watch our cabin crew display the safety features of the aircraft.
Awesome. Okay, so APU is on. Oh wait, looking at the wrong checklist. I'm like, wait a minute. Hydraulics are on, parking brakes on. Alright, we are cleared to start the engines. Oh, I don't think I wanted to do that. Oops. Okay. Whew. Okay. Alright, so now it's just a matter of... Let's see what we got on the ECAS page here. Oil. Inbound spoilers on. Is that what that says? And brake pressure. Okay, well, that's fine. Alright, let's get these engines started, I guess. So first thing we need to do is I need to get us ready for pushback. Alright, so let's get to the pushback. Let's get that started.
Cockpit ground, request received, tug is on its way.
Sure I got everything buttoned up outside. Yeah. Okay.
Alright, check complete. All doors, hatches are closed and sealed. We are ready to continue.
Can you... Oh, nice. Thank gosh. Okay. Flight deck door.
Alright, Captain, tow is connected, bypass pin is inserted, we are ready to get you out of here. Go ahead and release that parking brake for me.
Alright, and then start the ignition. There's start switch for the right engine. And then there it is, cycling.
Alright, commencing pushback, and you may start your engines when ready, Captain.
Pull the right engine. Oh, at a cutoff. There we go. Let's listen to this. Okay, that one's done. Start engine 1.
Hey, Captain, your pushback's complete. Set the parking brake.
We would also like to remind you that you should turn off all electronic devices. We do participate in engines during this brief presentation.
Ground to cockpit. Doug is disconnected. Bypass pin has been removed. Have a safe flight. We'll see you next time, Captain.
I feel like I turned the packs on too soon. I thought that was supposed to be done. I totally did. Turn the packs on out of order. I was looking at the wrong section. Oh well. Guess it happens. Okay. Engines are stable. Warnings are clear. Alright, after start checklist, generators are on auto. Let's go up top here. Oops. We can stop the APU. Isolation valve is, or APU. There we go. Seatbelts, no smoking. We do want that. Looks like everything else is set to go. Let's get that taxi light on. See if I'm missing anything else. Packs we already know are on because I was a dork. Turn the air conditioning on. DC service. Alright, I think I got her. I think we're ready. Time will tell, I guess. Right? I'm like super not confident right now. Super not confident. I'm gonna pull this up and bring it off screen because that is a little hard to see. That's my first gripe. Is in order to get this kind of a view like we're seeing, those screens are pretty hard to see. But hey, that's all right. So now let's taxi out. All right. So I'm just gonna release that parking brake, and off we go. Adding thrust. I think I need to pull that one up too here. And by the way, just so you guys know, it is a fully modeled cabin. So you're going to be able to go crazy with those wing views and window views. Alright, so a couple things my bonehead butt forgot to do is we need flaps 8 for takeoff. Need to arm the thrust reversers. Sort of like the auto brakes for this aircraft, I believe. Trims are already set. Brake temp checked.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has advised that we are now cleared for takeoff.
Alright, that was kind of cool. I think it's just because we got close to the runway. I didn't do anything. Alright, so we need our flight directors turned on. Oh, this turns them both on, I see. Landing lights. Yep. All right, we're ready to go. All right, we're just going to do a rolling start here. For max thrust. Airspeed alive. $80 knots. I'm liking the takeoff roll. This is a nice long roll. Feels like a good takeoff. There's V1 rotating. Come on, baby. There we go. Got used to A320 where you don't have to hold the stick back. Positive rate, gear up. Flaps 1. Now we're going to try to do, there's flaps 2. Throttles to climb. It's like FMS 1 and pitch. Oh, you know what I didn't set? Nope. I'm trying to find which one it was. Alright, we're in climb. Thrust reversers disarmed. I think from here, just a nice climb up to altitude. I think we got her for the moment. We're on our way to our first waypoint. Want to climb. Set our climb at 250 knots. That's what that is. Alright, cool. This is just me playing with things at this point, guys. This isn't required. We're up, we're airborne. Now I want to start playing around. Alright, so we're passing 10,000 feet. Okay. Oh, I never turned the strobe light on. Darn it. Alright, there's it flashing to the new waypoint. Just the seatbelt and no smoking signs up on the eCam there. Alright, I think we're good, guys. Passing through 12,000. Okay, so while we got a couple minutes, let's chat. Let's talk about the experience so far. So far, the experience has actually been really nice. And if you're familiar with any airliners, this has actually been a very easy experience, though, so far. Now, with that being said, I'm sure I have missed 200,000 things already. I'm sure I've already done 20,000 things out of sequence. But as you can see, as someone who has never flown this aircraft before, ever in simulation, I'm up and I'm moving, right? So, I mean, it's an intuitive aircraft. The documentation, I was having to go through a couple different docs to get to where I wanted to be, but you know, between the use of all the resources that are available, we're airborne, you know, and we're on our way out, and these are just the resources that came with the aircraft.
Gentlemen, we are now serving sandwiches.
Nice. All right. I wish I got served a sandwich on a flight, especially freaking in a flight that's 45 minutes, if that. But anyway, so I'm digging it. The takeoff was fun. The takeoff was a lot of fun. The aircraft felt heavy as we were lifting up, which I liked. You know, you had to pull, and then you guys saw as I relaxed a bit, the nose immediately started to come back down, so I had to pull and hold it. The takeoff roll, I love a long takeoff roll. You know, some of the aircraft, I mean, I think this thing had a longer takeoff roll than the A320 did, and we're approaching 18,000. So I'm going to go ahead and we're under altitude, is that cap or constraint? So I'm going to roll our altitude up to 20,000 or 22,000. There we go. And let's see if it continues to climb or not. Now, I also need to, we are at 18,000 feet, so we need to set, cool. And I think we got to put it over here too. Oh, I don't think I ever set that side actually. Okay. Now it has, I don't know if she's going to continue to climb or not. Now we are accelerating. So if I want her to just keep on climbing, do I need to use, well, let's use the speed again. Well, that just switches it. There she goes. All right. We'll reduce that to 290 knots. Now, I don't know if that means altitude constraint or what we got going on there. It doesn't look like it. I don't know what that noise is. Alt cap. I'm gonna have to look at that. Anyway, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm really not sure what that noise is. It's very loud all of a sudden. Doesn't seem to be the air conditioning. Alright, so we're coming up on our altitude. Let's see if she levels out. She's accelerating like crazy, so I'm going to pull some speed back. I don't think it has auto throttle. I think you have to control your throttle. Yep, she's holding out at 22,000. Why is it saying APU and door closed? APU shouldn't be on. Look at that. I thought I turned the APU off. Ah, no, not APU ignite. Turn off. Nope, I was right. Okay, I'm not sure why it says it down there. And I'm really not sure what that weird noise is. that cabin noise? Or flight deck noises? I don't know. It's a really weird noise, unless that's just how it sounds up here. And we're at our altitude, so that's good. Alright, good stuff. So let's expand this out, looking at 40 miles. We're already 80 miles into Phoenix, so, or 60 miles away from Phoenix, so we're going to already be descending in a few minutes. So I will catch you guys when we get closer to that. Alright, so we're actually closer than I thought here, so let's come on down here. And let's go to the next page. We need to go to performance. Fuel management. Nothing here. That's the VNAV profile. That doesn't seem right. I don't know if this automatically switches. What I'm looking for is the ILS frequency. Yeah, we're looking for ILS 08. And if I look at Navigraph, should be expecting 111.75 for the ILS frequency. But I don't know if that will switch automatically as we get closer. We'll just keep an eye on this for right now. Let's come back up top. Now looking at our route here. We should start descending at this point. So, let's start descending. So I'm going to set our target altitude down. Set it to 6,000, which is where we should be at the start of the approach. And let's see here. Let's set our speed. Do a little bit slower descent. And actually, no, let's use vertical speed. I think that's better. Let's go down at 2,000 feet per minute. Pull those throttles back. We are descending. And I need the Phoenix MEDAR information, so let me grab that real quick. 2976 currently. So we can throw that in the standby while we're waiting. Wrong one. Actually, that might work better. Set our speed target down to 210 knots. Start slowing the aircraft down. There's 250. We're approaching at 18,000 feet, so I'm going to switch altimeter to 2976. Won't worry about the co-pilot side. Let's see what those look like. Oh, they're so tiny. Scene really does look cool. Oops. Alright, so from here I'm just going to be monitoring our descent for a bit. And I'll see you guys as we get closer to the approach. I'll be monitoring our radio frequency. Well, let me just try. Oh, there it goes. How about that? Perfect timing. So as we got closer, it automatically switched. Now, I'm curious if we need to plug in any arrival data like we do with some of the other aircraft. Radio only had the one page, right? Yep. Okay. Okay, so I think I remember what the landing data is. I just got to done thinking about it. Yep, it's these. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit set all. So we have our landing speed set. Doing a quick check. We should be approaching 10,000, right? Oh, we're below 10,000. Get those lights back on. Seatbelt signs are already active. And we're actually descending a little faster than we need to, so I'm going to bring it up to 1,000 feet per minute. Add power to maintain our airspeed. It's kind of fun actually having to fly the thing. For our speed bug here at 210 knots. Now it's going to be wanting vectors here. I don't know if I can delete that because I don't want to use vectors. I just want it to take us in. Okay. So now it should just follow the approach. Yeah, all right, we're looking good. We descended a little fast, a little too soon, but that's all right. So from here, it's just a matter of waiting until we get to our approach line. So I'll be back with you guys in a few minutes. All right, so I'm going to get brave here. Of course, probably a bad time to do that, but we're going to go direct to Sarte here. And we're going to start slowing the aircraft down. We're going to set our target altitude. I'm going to go for flaps 8. Alright, now I'm going to try to activate the approach mode. Whoa, lost a lot of airspeed there. I'm going to set our nav source here. Let's see here, how far out are we? Oops, what am I clicking? We're about 18 miles out. Looks like localizer 1 has been established. So I'm going to set our source to the localizer. It looks like it's got it. It's waiting for the glide slope capture. And it got it right there. Let me make it so you guys can see that a bit easier. There's our glide slope needle. So we're a little above it, but it's descending to capture. Alright, we're at 10 miles now. And go flaps 20. I know I'm doing things a little early, and it's because I don't know what to expect. I'm going to bring that gear down. See here on a reference chart here, landing gear extended, it can be, looks like at 220 knots. Alright, so we're on the approach, we're about 15 out, landing gears down, flaps are flaps 20. We're on the glide slope, we're acquiring the glide slope right now for an ILS approach into Phoenix. I'm going to go ahead and set our go-around altitude. What was that target speed we were looking for? 140 knots for touchdown.
We are about to land. Please remain seated until we have stopped.
Nice. 3,000 feet, so that should be about 10 miles, give or take. We're just about on our approach speed. Arm the thrust reversers. Let's go for flaps 30. Maybe I didn't want flaps 30. She's struggling there. Got a little bit above the glide slope because of that. Alright, I won't do that again. Maybe we were landing with flaps 20. Does it say? No. Alright, we are just about ready to land here. So I'm going to disengage the autopilot. Now going full flaps. Get your butt down there, don't you lose that glide slope. I'd like to thank you for flying American Eagle, where we go out of our way to scare the living crap out of our passengers. Come on, baby, accelerate. Mercy. Throttles are... The engine power is sort of hard to read. As far as when to add throttle, how much throttle to add. Oof, something tells me this is going to be a rough landing. Ah, bad time to frame. Come on, knock it off. I have no control over the freaking yoke again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has reported the landing.
Ooh.
As we will be landing shortly.
What is going on? Like, I lost all control on the yoke. Oof. Okay. Well. That was different. There she goes. All right.
Please remain.
Well, that was different. Okay. So, obviously, it's because I'm a noob. I don't know the aircraft. I don't know what to expect. That's something that's going to come with time. So I don't think anything that happened there on the landing had anything to do with the aircraft. I think it was just lack of experience flying it. Alright, so let's get off the runway. Start cleaning up the aircraft. Disarm the spoilers, or the reversers. Clear the landing lights. Clear the strobe light. Oh, wrong one. And let's go ahead and start the APU. I think we're good. All right, let's taxi over to the gate. Come on. See what I mean? Like, look how much power is going before we're not even moving yet. But then once you get moving, like, good luck getting it to stop. Turn our flight directors off. Close enough for me. Alright, zero the throttles. Set the parking brake. APU is available. The cutoff. Engine's coming down. And let's go up top for a minute. Anti-ice are all off. Hydraulics off. Beacon light off. Taxi light off. Seatbelt signs off. Switch over to external power. Stop the APU. Boost pumps off. Packs off. I'm sure I didn't do this in the right order. I'm just sort of going through a flow here. Figuring things out. DC service off. Emergency exit lights off. See if I missed anything down here. Cabin door unlocked. IRS off. Nose wheel steering off. And finally, AC power off and batteries off. Okay. Interesting. Are you coming back to me? Okay. So let's talk about our final flight here, or our first flight here. This aircraft is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I can't wait to learn more about it. The performance of it was fantastic. The quality of the textures and the flight modeling, you know, right, like I said, everything from the way all the buttons and switches sound and quote-unquote feel, the EFB and the exterior features and the little customizations you have and the ambience that's added, you know, even as simple as those flight attendant messages are, they're cool. You know, it's a nice addition. Like I said, it has a fully modeled 3D cabin, so you'll be able to make those custom views really cool. Landing performance and things like that, I'm sure that was all my error, so I'm not too concerned about that. It's just a matter, I think, of getting comfortable with the plane. I wasn't expecting the throttle. The engines take a little bit longer than I'm used to throttle up and down. And I don't know if that has to do because it's a pusher or you know what the deal is there, or if it's just, you know, something you have to learn. But I think it's absolutely worth the money, and I think if you guys give it a shot, between all the documentation that's included with this thing, I highly recommend you go through it. I'm definitely going to go through it before the next flight, so that way I have a little bit more solid information and background with it. Yeah, I would say absolutely grab it. If you guys are on the fence about this aircraft, pick it up. I think you'll have a good time with it. All right. Thank you guys for flying with me today. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that way you get notified of future content if you're enjoying the content. And I will see you guys in the next one.